Hello, radiant soul. If you've been feeling a strange pull in your spirit lately, a gentle but persistent yearning to leave, to move, to discover something beyond the borders of your current life, know this. It is not a fleeting whim. It is not a coincidence. It is the voice of the divine, whispering softly to your heart that the time has come to awaken and relocate. Not just your body, but your soul. This isn't just about packing bags or changing scenery. This is about stepping into a sacred turning point, a divine invitation to elevate the very story of who you are. For you, Leo, this calling is holy. It's more than geography. It's a realignment of destiny. The place you are being called to is not random. It is consecrated, prepared long before you were even aware of its name. A place where your spirit will feel at home the moment you arrive. A place where your gifts are not only welcomed but needed. Where your voice echoes with purpose and your light is no longer dimmed by doubt but amplified by alignment. Have you noticed the signs? That restless fire within you? The repeated dreams of unfamiliar lands? The casual conversations where someone, again, mentions a city or country that has been on your mind? These are not accidents. They are sacred breadcrumbs left on your path by the hand of God, gently guiding you toward a new horizon. Your soul recognizes what your mind has yet to understand. The place you are meant to be is calling you home. And so I ask you, beloved Leo, will you listen? Will you trust that this ache for elsewhere is not a disruption, but a divine preparation for the greatest chapter of your life? Let's begin. Not every Leo will hear the same calling in the same way, for the divine speaks through the sacred calendar of your birth. The stars have etched their whispers into the days you arrived on this earth, and each range of dates carries a unique current, a distinct invitation, a holy compass pointing toward the place where your transformation begins. For those born between July 23rd and August 2nd, your shift will come cloaked in the garments of ambition and opportunity. There's a door preparing to open in your professional life, perhaps in a distant city or even a far-off country. And behind it lies not just a new job, but a new stage for your leadership to unfold. It may first appear as a subtle chance, a job posting that stirs something in your gut, or a casual message from someone far away. But make no mistake, it is not the role itself that matters, it is the elevation. God is orchestrating a move that aligns your talents with a greater mission, and the place where this unfolds will not only honor your gifts, it will expand them. Your purpose is ready to be seen, not in the confines of the familiar, but in a land where your roar finally echoes at full volume. If your birth falls between August 3rd and August 13th, your migration will come not through career, but through the gentle, often mysterious tides of the heart. Love will be the bridge, family will be the catalyst, perhaps a partner whose path leads you elsewhere, or a soul connection that can only thrive in a new environment. Or maybe it's the pull of kinship, the sudden need to be closer to someone you thought you had drifted from. Don't dismiss these nudges as mere emotion. They are sacred threads, woven by divine hands to bring you to where your heart can be nourished, healed, and grown. The new place you're called to will be one where relationships deepen, where love expands, where home becomes more than a location. It becomes a feeling of sacred belonging. And for those born between August 14th and August 22nd, yours is the path of sacred mission. The reason for your move will not come dressed in logic. It will come draped in vision. A spiritual assignment is being delivered to your soul, one that can only be fulfilled in a particular place. You may feel it already, the rising sense that you no longer fit where you are, that something ancient and holy is summoning you elsewhere. You may not know why, but you know. The new land you are called to is not simply different. It is holy ground, prepared for the next chapter of your soul's evolution. And when you arrive, the air will feel lighter, the silence will hum with recognition, and your spirit will whisper, "This is why I came." So, take heart, Leo. Whether your call comes through work, through love, or through the unseen pull of spirit, know that it is divinely timed, divinely designed, and divinely guided. Your map was written in the heavens, and now the journey begins. When the divine calls you to a new place, it is never just about moving house or changing addresses. It is a sacred rearrangement of destiny, a relocation of soul purpose, a cosmic shift that aligns your outer life with the truth of who you've always been on the inside. And in that new land, yes, that blessed waiting place, your real life begins. Not the life shaped by compromise or survival, but the life sculpted by purpose, joy, and deep soul-rooted authenticity. A life where your talents no longer need to fight to be seen. A life where you don't have to shrink to fit, where your shine is not only welcomed, but needed. And here is the most beautiful part. You are not being sent there unprepared. Heaven has already gone ahead of you. The people you need to meet, the ones who will open doors, soften your journey, inspire your heart, they are already in position. The opportunities designed for your growth are already blooming, waiting only for your presence. The energy of the place, the rhythm of the land, the light in the mornings, the feeling of the air is already vibrating in harmony with your spirit. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into what was known by the divine long before you asked for more. But this is not a path for the timid. This is a path for the brave-hearted, for those who are willing to say yes when the door opens, even if they do not yet see what lies beyond it. The invitation will come quietly or suddenly, but it will come, and when it does, you must be ready, not just with your bags packed, but with your spirit attuned, your heart softened, your courage awakened. Because this opportunity, this divine appointment, does not last forever. It has a window, it has a moment. It is a wave you must ride when it crests. And if you hesitate too long, the tide will recede, and what was meant for now may not return again. So prepare yourself, not in fear, but in faith. Let your soul stretch toward what calls you. Let your spirit whisper yes when the sacred door swings open. And remember, this is not just a change of place. It is a promotion of purpose, an elevation of your entire life, a rising into the version of yourself that was always waiting on the other side of fear. The place is ready. The moment is near. The only question left is, are you? When the divine begins to whisper of a journey, it is not only your feet that must prepare, but your heart, your mind, your entire being. Transition is sacred, and sacred things require intention. If you feel the call, if something within you stirs at the thought of moving toward the life that was always meant for you, then now is the time to begin your preparation, not from a place of urgency, but from a place of reverence. First, anchor yourself in prayer. Not vague wishing, not restless longing, but clear, grounded, heartfelt communion with the divine. Ask not only for confirmation, but for the eyes to see it when it arrives. Ask for peace that surpasses understanding, for signs that feel like home, for a knowing so deep that it silences your doubts. Let your prayers be conversations, not negotiations, an open-hearted invitation for God to reveal the path and steady your steps when the time to walk it comes. Then begin the holy practice of clearing space, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Go through your papers, your inboxes, your forgotten corners. Close loops that have been left open. Finish what needs finishing. Forgive what needs forgiving. Release what no longer fits the story you are stepping into. Let your home, your heart, your calendar reflect the openness of a soul ready to move. Simplify what you carry, both in your luggage and in your spirit. You are being prepared to travel light, not because you will lack, but because the weight of the past has no place in the land of your becoming. And finally, tend to your faith like a sacred fire. Read stories of those who said yes before they had all the answers. Surround yourself with reminders that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to trust love over logic. Feed your soul with testimonies of divine timing, of people who were guided to places they didn't expect, only to find themselves in the center of miracles. Strengthen your belief that God's plans are not only higher, but more beautiful than anything you could imagine. Because when the moment comes, and it will, it is your faith that will help you step across the threshold. The invitation is divine, the preparation sacred, and the journey, it is nothing less than the unfolding of your true destiny. Prepare, beloved Leo. Heaven is waiting for your yes. And yes, dear soul, let us also speak of the earthly vessel that carries much of our peace and fear alike, money. For even the most spiritually attuned hearts can hesitate when the numbers do not yet add up. But hear this gently. When God calls, He also provides. If He is orchestrating a move, a realignment, a leap, then provision has already been prepared, even if it has not yet appeared in your account. Still, part of your preparation must include the sacred act of financial stewardship. Begin now with reverence to align your finances with the path unfolding. Look at your resources not as limits, but as tools. Simplify where you can. Release excess. Cancel what no longer serves the life you are stepping into. Set aside what you can, not from fear, but from wisdom. Every dollar saved, every debt cleared, every small choice rooted in discernment becomes an act of faith, an agreement with the future God is building for you. And as you align yourself practically, open your heart to the mysterious ways in which blessings arrive. Unexpected income, divine connections, a sudden offer, a reduction in cost, doors opening in ways that cannot be explained by logic but are soaked in grace. Financial miracles often arrive on the winds of obedience, not before the first step, but after it. So trust that when your motives are pure and your spirit is surrendered, heaven will meet your earthly needs in ways that surprise and sustain you. This move, this invitation into more, it is not just spiritual or emotional or symbolic. It is material too. And the new land you are being called to will bring with it not only growth of the soul, but expansion of resources, opportunities, abundance, and divine favor that flows into every corner of your life, including your finances. So prepare, not with fear, but with faith. Organize, simplify, save with intention, and then stay open to the divine economy, which does not operate by scarcity, but by grace. The road may feel uncertain, but the provider walks with you, and He knows exactly what you need and when. Let money no longer be your master. Let it become your servant, humbled, blessed, and aligned with the radiant life that is waiting for you to say yes. And if your heart trembled as these words unfolded, if something ancient and unspoken within you began to stir, like an ember being breathed back to life, then trust, with the quiet knowing that surpasses all understanding, that this message has traveled through time and circumstance to reach you. It was never random, never coincidental. It arrived not because you were seeking it, but because it was seeking you. Because your soul, in its quiet wisdom, had already whispered a question into the universe, and this is your answer, clothed in language, pulsing with light. This is not a message for everyone, and that is the sacred beauty of it. It is for those whose spirits have grown too large for the life they've known. For those who have been pacing the borders of their own existence, sensing there must be something more, something freer, truer, more alive. For those who, despite their doubt or fatigue, have continued to hope that the pieces of their life might someday fit together into something meaningful and whole. If you've been waiting for a sign, aching for confirmation, or wondering whether you were crazy to want to begin again, let this be your gentle, glorious yes. Yes, you were right. Yes, there is more. Yes, the time is near. And when that time arrives, fully, when the invitation is spoken, when the path begins to reveal itself beneath your feet, you will begin to see how everything that once hurt you was actually shaping you, how every detour was divine redirection, how every delay was protection, and how the very things that once made you ache are the same things that now make you strong enough to walk into your promised land. You will understand that nothing was wasted, that not a moment of your struggle went unnoticed by the divine, and that your tears watered the very soil of the place you are now being called to inhabit. You are not stepping into a new place merely to escape the old. You are stepping into alignment, into the full expression of the soul you've always carried but never fully lived. You are entering into a life where you no longer have to apologize for your light, no longer have to explain your calling, no longer have to dim your truth to fit into spaces that were never built to hold you. And when you look back, whether it be months or years from now, you will see this moment not as the beginning of change, but as the culmination of everything your soul has been preparing for all along. So breathe deeply, beloved Leo. Let your heart expand with trust. Let your spirit stretch toward the horizon. Let your courage rise like the sun. For this is not the end of something familiar. It is the sacred dawn of something destined. And the place you are being called to is already calling you home. And so, beloved Leo, as we come to the end of this sacred message, I invite you to sit with everything your spirit has felt, not to rush to understand it all with your mind, but to let your heart speak its quiet truth. This was not just a video. It was a mirror, a portal, a soft and steady awakening. You didn't find it by accident. It found you because you're ready to move, to listen, to trust, to step into the divine territory that has always been waiting for your arrival. The universe is aligning, the signs are appearing, and the next chapter of your life is stretching its arms open to receive you. All that remains now is your yes. And when that yes comes, let it be full, not hesitant, not halfway, but wrapped in the fierce trust that only a Leo can hold. You were not made for the ordinary. You were born for magnitude, for motion, for meaning. If these words lit something within you, if your soul whispered, "I know this is for me," then I invite you to share it below. Tell us what you've been feeling, where you believe you're being called. Let this be not just a message, but a meeting place for other radiant spirits like yours, so that none of us walk this sacred journey alone. I'm Luna Celestine, and it is always my honor to walk beside you in these moments of remembrance. Until next time, trust the timing, honor the signs, and never forget, your light was made for somewhere greater, and that somewhere is already waiting.